During the transaction, I noticed something strange. The buyer assembled the firearm 5 seconds faster than I could, and I'm a professional agent. Even more puzzling, after I deliberately tampered with the sniper scope settings, she still hit the bullseye with perfect accuracy. All of this reminded me of something that happened not long ago. I had submitted my retirement request to the organization. Combined with this sudden assignment, I was certain it wasn't a coincidence. While I was thinking it over, the buyer suddenly handed the weapon to me and asked me to fire a shot beside her to test the effectiveness of the suppressor. At that moment, I had more than enough opportunity to eliminate her completely. But a more perfect plan was already forming in my mind. The buyer praised the weapon's performance nonstop. Just as we were about to finalize the deal, I suddenly suggested that certain parts needed improvement. She suspected nothing, but only gave me 3 days. After leaving the meeting place, I deliberately damaged the front bumper of my car and drove straight to a repair shop. While the mechanic focused on fixing the car, I quietly gathered various usable parts to prepare for the next stage of my plan. Back home, I immediately began dismantling them. I placed the stolen metal washers on my workbench and hammered them repeatedly until they reached the shape I needed. I planned to use the scrap to replicate the same weapon. Next, I precisely cut the stolen steel pipe into 12 sections and combined them with the modified washers. Finally, I installed a custom outer casing. A perfect replica suppressor was complete. To match it, I deliberately bought a second-hand gun from the black market. After completely disassembling and reassembling it, it looked no different from an ordinary firearm. However, every single component had been carefully adjusted. No, the most critical part came next. I shaved down the tips of the bullets with a knife, drilled a small hole in each one, and carefully injected a few drops of mercury. Even if these modified rounds didn't hit a vital organ, the toxicity of the mercury could deliver a lethal result almost instantly. 3 days later, the transaction proceeded as scheduled. Just as I handed the modified ammunition to the buyer, she suddenly demanded another inspection. I noticed the restaurant staff hurriedly retreat into the kitchen. The entire dining area suddenly emptied, as if I had fallen into a carefully designed trap. When the buyer reappeared, I quickly slipped the concealed gun into my pocket. Fortunately, the inspection went smoothly. The deal was completed without incident. Staring at the thick stack of cash in my hand, I began to wonder if I had overthought everything. What I didn't know was that the buyer received a mysterious phone call.
What happened?
There wasn't the opportunity.
Find one.
I'm following him now.
Late that night, I hesitated over whether to tell the buyer the truth. But what happened next made me abandon the idea entirely. I realized that from the moment the deal was finished, I was being followed. I deliberately doubled back, ducked into the shadows at a street corner, drew my pistol, and quietly circled behind my tail. Just as I was about to pull the trigger, a motorcycle suddenly sped past, disrupting my plan. The assassin escaped with ease. That incident confirmed my suspicion.